Hello, Emily here from Little Buddy Studio. I am a polymer clay artist from outside of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. I'm a full-time teacher and maker on the side. It's a life that I love. It can be crazy sometimes, but so worth it. Today, Good Housekeeping has asked me to take you on a tour of my workspace and talk a little bit about my artistic process behind making polymer clay jewelry. Let's go. I have been making polymer clay since about 2018. I started working with polymer clay in my classroom, teaching art, and realized how versatile the medium was and thought it'd be kind of cool to try at home. When I realized that I could make earrings for myself that reflected things I was teaching in the classroom, I realized I had really endless inspiration. And so since about 2018, I've been making polymer clay jewelry and selling it online. In terms of inspiration, I love to take inspiration from my classroom. I love to make earrings that reflect things I'm teaching about, my students are learning about. They give me suggestions. Teachers that I've met online give me suggestions. I love to make things that are personal to what people are learning and teaching about, and things also just I want to wear. If I am teaching a lesson on cells in science, I want to be able to walk in and have cool cell examples on my ears. So just whenever I can think of a cool subject or a topic or a profession that could translate well into earrings, I usually try my best to make a pair. My absolute favorite part of the earring process is experimenting and testing out new ideas. I try and dedicate a chunk of hours every week to just trying and testing out things and experimenting and making earrings that I never plan on selling on my website or putting on my Instagram page, but I take time to kind of get out some ideas. So that's my favorite part, because in those moments I get the opportunity to come up with new ideas and new topics and new designs and new techniques. And that process is super valuable in terms of creating new ideas every month. Something I wish people knew about the process behind making polymer clay jewelry is it takes forever, right? Coming up with ideas, mixing colors, cutting out shapes, creating details, especially really fine details, takes a really long time, and that's just the actual making process, right? Then there's the baking process, the sanding process, the drilling process, the assembly process, and then ultimately your final pieces are done, right? It takes a very, very long time, but ultimately the product that you get at the end is so worth that amount of time you've put into them. To make a pair of polymer clay earrings, you can really start off with basic materials and supplies. You don't need to invest in a lot of expensive things. The first thing you're gonna need is polymer clay. You can purchase it at many craft stores. You're also gonna need parchment paper to work on and to bake on. You're gonna need a roller, either an acrylic roller, a rolling pin, or even a flat drinking glass will work. You're also gonna need something to cut out your shapes, maybe a cookie cutter, a knife, or even a clay cutter if you have one. Now that we have our basic clay shape, we're gonna add some detail on top. So to make a very simple daisy shape, you're gonna roll out a piece of white clay into a long snake shape. Then you're gonna cut equal pieces from it and roll equal size balls. Then you're gonna shape those into a teardrop drop shape by rolling your finger back and forth on the end. Roll a small yellow circle to put in the center for your flower's center. Once you're done, you can arrange those into a daisy shape on top of your base clay. Now we have to press our detail into our base clay. So you can use any tools for this. A toothpick could be a tool, a knife could be a tool, your finger could be a tool. All you need to do is make some connection between those two layers. Working with clay is awesome because really virtually anything can be a tool. So once you've pressed that clay into both layers, you're going to poke holes where you want your jump rings to go. You can use a toothpick for this or another blunt object. Next, follow the baking instructions that are on your package of polymer clay for your oven, and once they are cooled and taken out of the oven, you can sand them. Sanding the edges just allows you to have a finished, professional look. You don't have to, but it is kind of a nice add-on at the end. And once your pieces are sanded and ready to go, you can connect them using your jump rings and adding your post onto the back with your craft wood. Ta-da! There you go. Polymer clay earrings. Finding originality in your designs and creating unique pieces is really, really important. There are so many really talented polymer clay artists out there, and it can be hard to kind of find your own style, right? Copying pieces you see online isn't really authentic to who you are, and being able to develop your own aesthetic and brand is really, really important to set yourself apart. So my biggest tip is just make things you like and spend a lot of time experimenting, right? Come up with your own techniques. Think about things that you enjoy and you would wear, because that's the biggest thing. You don't need to think about what people will buy. Think about what you would want to wear and what you want to have on your ears, because that's going to be your biggest inspiration moving forward. And you know what? As long as you're staying true to who you are and what you enjoy, then those designs are going to naturally create themselves over time, and that aesthetic is going to create itself over time. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to Good Housekeeping and check out my social media channels under Little Buddy Studio. Bye.